Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to 2023. We have a brand new year, and to celebrate, we're going to be taking a look at a set from almost a decade ago. If anybody is in chat, if I can just get a confirmation that my audio is functioning, that is always something that I'm very paranoid about. As I wait for that, let's take a look at what we have here. A little insight into some of the things we're going to be taking a look at today. So, previously, we did an unboxing of War of Light Wave 2. These are not necessarily what I pulled. We did pull Black Hand over here. I, however, already had these two, and then I ended up trading for Butcher over here. So there used to be a Predator. There's now a Butcher. Don't worry too much about that. Point is, this is the second part in our series. Even if you did not watch the first one, I'm still going to be spending a little bit of time talking about what War of Light was, for those of you unfamiliar. So let's just get right into it. So War of Light was a Green Lantern set that released in 2014. It was arguably the greatest set ever, definitely my favorite set ever. It was a storyline set. What that means was it was a limited printed set. They only made so much of it, and they exclusively wanted the set to be played as a tournament. So it was a 6-month tournament. Every month you would go in, you would get 2 booster packs. The first 3 months you would play with Wave 1, and the second 3 months you would play with Wave 2. And it has basically every single Green Lantern character to that time. Like, if they appeared in a comic book, they were in War of Light, except for Chip, one of my favorite Green Lanterns. But Chip is Heroclix at this point, so I guess it's not that big of a loss. Wave 2, which we unboxed last time, featured 4 different cores. It featured the Red Lantern core, it featured the Indigo core, Star Sapphires, and the Black Lantern core. Today, in Wave 1, we will see the White Lantern core make an appearance. They're going to be slightly over here. The Orange Lantern core, the Yellow Lantern core, and the Blue Lantern core. So hopefully we will try to get all of the rings for those guys. If we are lucky, we are going to get 2 more chases, but the odds are, judging by what we pulled last time, we're looking at maybe 1 chase and 1 prime. Maybe I'll get lucky, though. If I have to choose a chase, I would love to see Parallax. As we dig into this, I'm going to spend some time just kind of talking about, like, the lore of Green Lanterns. I'm going to spend some time talking about how the tournament was set up. Because, honestly, this was some of my earliest Heroclix memories back in 2014, and just some of my favorite memories of the game, to be honest. So, what do we have to look at today? A ton. First, as previously mentioned, we have Wave 1 booster packs. You can identify the Wave 1 packs because they have the Green Lantern logo on the front and not the Black Lantern logo. We will also be taking a look at an entire gravity feed of these Construct booster packs. And finally, although funnily enough, I think we're going to open this up first, we have the starter set for War of Light, which has Hal Jordan and Sinestro. So, it's a ton of stuff to dig into, maybe biting off a little bit more than I can chew. So let's just jump right into this with the starter pack. So the starter pack was the first thing of War of Light that released, kind of in build-up to War of Light. The reason that I'm so excited to get my hands on another copy of them is A, it has 2 characters to continue completing my collection of the set itself, but B, it also has a rule book from 2014. And I actually really appreciate having a rule book so I can, if I ever feel like it, I can play these pieces in the way that the rules were originally intended back in 2014, and not with some of the new changes nowadays. Not that the changes nowadays are bad changes, but I just think, I don't know, play pieces how they're designed is kind of my motto. There's a lot more duct tape on this than I was expecting. So, where do we even begin? Well, I think I know where I want to begin. Yeah, for sure we have to start here, right? With these buttes. So this starter set, one of the things that it has is this die is not... it's not... Well, anyway. It comes with two Green Lantern D6. And these, nothing particularly special about them. They have the green logo on one side and just a really nice marble all around. These were my favorite dice of all time playing this board game. And I won so many tournaments with them, and I lost mine. You just opened the starter last week. Well, you're a week ahead of me. So, yeah, these were my absolute favorite dice. I won so many tournaments with them. Let's see what we can do now with them. 6, slightly below average. Oh well. I blame the fact that this one pip is a little too much paint on it. So I'm super excited to have another set of these dice so I can continue playing with them, because those... Geez, I think I ran my Green Lantern dice all the way to 2018, I think, until I lost them. Moving on from there, let us... we're not going to take too much of a look at these. One fun thing is from what I remember, yeah, there are little campaign scenarios that come in the starter set. So these are a bunch of little POG tokens, bystander tokens, of a lot of the different factions and stuff, so you can play like a little War of Light campaign using just the things that you get in this box. So, just some things that we can see. Again, I'm not going to focus too long on these. We can see we have Zamaron Trainees, part of the Violet Lantern Corps, Black Lantern Risens from the Black Lanterns, and Orange Lantern Constructs. And I believe there are also some Manhunters in there, and a few notable characters from Green Lantern's kind of circle. But we're not going to dig too much into those. The next thing in this starter set that we're going to take a look at is a piece of massive nostalgia for me, because I think I still have this, to be honest. It is the map. This is... I'm not going to be able to open the entire thing. I don't have a camera set up for it right now. But it is Oa, and you can kind of see there's a Guardian statue there, and you can kind of see a power battery. Really cool about this map is it actually has special rules where if you were running one of the power batteries... oh, jeez, my camera is not liking this. Whoops. Fix it. Oh, God, the real world. Get it out. Hello. My little dingus is dead. Fix it. There we go. Avoid that problem from happening again. Sorry. If you were playing it with the Green Lantern resource batteries, you could actually put them on the center of the map. And, I don't know, just kind of cool. Unique. Different. The other side, I believe, is a Sinestro-themed location with a lot of walls. Yeah, once again, I can't really show it. Yeah, you can see, there's some yellow, there's some walls. I think I still have my original copy of this map somewhere in my basement. Oh, geez, I messed up my entire little display. Ugh, horrible. Moving on from there, let's take a look at some of the things that are a little bit more exciting. Actually, looking through this pack, there is a scenario book that has a bunch of little missions for you to play with, some of the bystanders and some of the pieces that you got here. It does not actually appear to include a 2014 rulebook, so that's a little sad. But we can see Agent Orange, that is the Orange Lantern Larfleeze, the Rescue of Sinestro, Battle of the Star Sapphires, Escape from Nock, which is the Indigo Lantern planet, I believe. So a little sad that there's no rulebook there. Okay, going through the rest of these, we have the first little bit of lore that we're going to go over today about how the tournament was held. We have another Green Lantern ring. So this is the only way that you would get the Green Lantern ring. Focus. Thank you. Geez, the lighting I have makes my hands look incredibly washed out and gross. This is the only way that you would get the Green Lantern ring. The other rings you would get in booster packs, except for this one. And that is a little interesting. But the way that this worked is by playing in the tournament, the first month you were given the Green Lantern power battery, and every month from there on you would get constructs that would go into these little slots, and you could play with this. So the way that it worked in summary was basically when you were building your team, you would pay for a power battery, you would pay for the constructs, and you would pay for a ring, and the ring would slot in there. It's worth noting that you did not have to run the same ring as the battery or the same color constructs. These could all be different colors. However, if you stuck with the same color, you got a massive benefit that was arguably broken. So, yeah, so this is a resource. It is basically, if you have never played old Heroclix, it is kind of like the way equipment works nowadays, except you are only allowed one resource and it is assigned to your entire team. Sort of, mostly. It's like okay, this one specifically is assigned to your entire team. There were other resources, such as the original Infinity Gauntlet, that would only be assigned to one character. And the ring itself, we can see the card here, just take a quick look. It has two sides. You can play it as a relic, which is effectively a really bad piece of equipment. The way that relics worked was it was a piece of equipment, but you had to use a power action to roll a d6. And if you did not roll a 5 or a 6, as it says up here, you just didn't pick it up. So in my playthrough, it was way too slow to ever reasonably use any kind of relics, so they never got used. The other side here is if you were using it as the ring going on the Green Lantern battery. It does the same thing on either side. So let's see what it says, if I can even get it close enough to my camera and have it zoom in properly. Nope. Try again. Nope. Try again. Hello? Close enough. If this character has the Green Lantern keyword, modify all of its combat values except damage by +1. Otherwise, the character has the Green Lantern core keyword and can use willpower. When an opposing character targets it with Outwit or Perplex on a d6 result of 4 through 6, ignore the effect. So Green Lanterns, giving willpower and stuff like that was a very strong effect. Back in the day, willpower did not remove action tokens like it does now. It actually would... it would mean that if you got a second action token, normally you would take damage. Willpower would prevent that damage. It was called pushing damage. So Green Lanterns had a crazy action economy. Nowadays, if you put this on a Green Lantern, it means you would have a 5 or a 6d6 roll to remove an action token from them, which still means that they can probably get an insane action economy. But so what you would do is you would pay that ring, put it in a battery, and then you can give that ring effect to your entire team. And if you built a team of Green Lanterns, like it says, Green Lanterns get all of their stats by +1. It was kind of nutty. Also worth noting, in that same kind of vein, if you played an entity, entities would actually grant keywords of whatever entity it was. So if I paired this with a character, the entity would give the character that it was possessing the Green Lantern core keyword. You give it the Green Lantern ring, and then suddenly you have +1 to all of your combat values. You could do some very stupid things. Honestly, the entire set was kind of like pushing power level in kind of like insane ways. And the last important piece that every good power battery needs is a construct. And here we have one of those. This is the shield construct. It is actually, every other construct in the game comes in every color, except for the shield, which only comes in green. And if I had to guess why that was, I would say it's because this features the Green Lantern logo, and they did not want to use a different mold for each of these, so there's only one because it has the Green Lantern logo printed on it. Anyway, what does it do? Well, it gives energy shield deflection, so you would pay 8 points for that. Funnily enough, there's probably way cheaper equipment that does that nowadays. Actually, thinking about it, Captain America's shield nowadays can give energy shield deflection for way cheaper. But back in my day, this was like the only way to give characters powers, and it was stupid. It was very strong. So the way that they worked was, you could see that was 8 points. So you would pay 8 points for this, 8 points for the ring, and something like 8 points for the base. I don't remember. 4 points? I don't remember. And then you would slot these in here. And then throughout the game, there were different ways to remove this and attach it to certain characters, and then whatever character it was attached to would get that ability. So, for instance, you could just start the game knowing that at some point you're going to want energy shield deflection on one of your characters. Then you could deploy this as needed to whatever character. They would also become a Green Lantern in that instance, giving them Outwit protection, Perplex protection, and willpower. It was very versatile. Some of these batteries did absolutely stupid things. We're not going to spend too much time talking about the batteries and the way that they broke the game, because they did. It was insane. What we are going to take a look at, though, is the first of our two figures that comes in this starter set, and that is the leader of the Green Lantern Corps himself, Mr. Hal Jordan. Let's see if we can get a good focus. Nope. Tested this camera for like 20 minutes making sure it could focus, and now it just refuses to. Here we go, Hal Jordan. Not the only Hal Jordan in this set, but I believe the only one as a raw Green Lantern. You can actually see this is kind of the predecessor of the bases that we see in more modern Heroclix. Because if we take a look at... No, Black Hand is a terrible example. Where is a piece? Here's a piece I have on hand. If we take a look, original pieces did not have bases. They were just on this little like crescent island. That was until Wonder Woman, where characters got... Again, I don't have any examples on me because that would have been convenient. But basically, characters had bases like this, so it's kind of funny that the Green Lantern set also has bases like this. But the reason for these bases is because the way that these guys worked, and it was only on Green Lanterns, which is a little strange, they would have a trait that would let them start the game with a construct, and you could just slot it like right there. There we go. And it never fit exactly perfectly well, but it's pretty cool. It is also the predecessor of the Deadpool set, where characters would get speech bubbles. So if you've ever seen any Deadpool characters with a base that looks like this, that is because they had a speech bubble that would give them special powers as well. So let's take a look at what Hal does. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. He has the Green Lantern Corps and new Guardians keywords. He has that construct trait. You can see when you build your force, you can pay a certain amount of points to give him a construct, and then you can kind of change around the construct mid-game. It was just very versatile, the way that this worked. Like I said, this one gives you energy shield deflection. There were other constructs that gave you like close combat reflexes, exploit weakness. Basically, like whatever power you wanted, there was a construct for, and it was stupid. You have the Green Lantern Kingdom Come from the Legacy set. Ooh, I love Kingdom Come Green Lantern. They have the... Oh, is that God of... There's a few Green Lantern pieces that I really love and I really want to get my hands on, and the Kingdom Come one is one of them. We have here the trait. He can use Telekinesis as a free action if he has no action tokens. That's still very strong, actually. Telekinesis, just a quick way to throw your... characters across the map and still make an attack. So with Hal Jordan, at the start of your turn, you could throw a character like 6 spaces forward and then have them charge afterwards. Basically, also in this set, you'll notice there are a lot of ways to do a lot of really mean things with Alpha Strikes. I think there are many ways in which you could probably cross the entire map in a single turn and like slap your opponent. Beyond that, we can see all of his powers are actually based on the Green Lantern Corps motto. I love to see that. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. Just kind of classic. Love it. And we can see he has the... so if you don't remember, or if you did not watch my previous video, all of the Lantern Corps, first of all, have a wonderful like backdrop on this card that shows like what Lantern Corps they're a part of. Love that. Second of all, they all have a themed ability. For Green Lanterns, they would get willpower and outwit protection. Hal Jordan's here is Will Limitless Reserve. He can use willpower, and opposing characters can't use Perplex to modify his combat values. When a second action token is placed on him, roll a d6. On a 3 through 6, heal him of 1 damage. That is very solid. He doesn't get outwit protection, which is a little sad as far as I can see. Nope. But I really like a healing on a 3 through 6 is very solid. So overall, he is... I'm not going to judge these pieces in like the 1 through 5 star thing that I do sometimes. He's 160 points, which was a lot, I gotta say, back in the day. Let's take a look at what his top vial looks like. Ciao. We can see he has 8 range. It's a little hard to see because it doesn't want to focus. Try again. Come on. There we go. 8 range, 10 movement running shot, 11 attack, 18 and 4. Funnily enough, those are very standard combat values nowadays, but those were very solid back in the day. When this set came out, 11 attack, or 10 attack, 17 defense, 3 damage was standard. 6 range was also standard, so overall he was kind of pushing it in all of the stats. So there you go. I'm not going to look through his entire dial, because frankly, I don't care too much. Super cool to see him, though. But it is more exciting to see one of my favorite characters, Sinestro, with this wonderful sculpt. I love this sculpt. One of my favorite Sinestro sculpts. We can see him just kind of like swooping into battle with his Yellow Lantern battery on him. What does he do? Sinestro, the Sinestro Corps. He is also part of the New Guardians, Ruler and Sinestro Corps. He has the Fear trait, so the Sinestro Corps are the Lanterns of Fear, heralded by Sinestro himself, Sinestro Corps. They, in the game, would get Perplexes that could only modify opposing combat values negatively, so you couldn't buff your own guys, you had to negatively perplex other people. He has Fear Master. Sinestro can use Perplex, but only to decrease combat values. There it is. When he does, he modifies all combat values on the target by -1, or all by -2 if the target has 2 action tokens. That is nasty. Basically just like shutting down a character or making them extremely vulnerable. That actually got better with time, because nowadays in Heroclix, well, the way that it used to work is Perplex was a temporary debuff, and once you took damage, that debuff would go away. That is no longer the case, so nowadays, if you run this guy, your entire team can beat up that dude who has -2 defense, and he can't do anything about it. That is really mean. His movement ability, your Fear betrays you. He can use Sidestep and give him a power action and place him adjacent to an opposing character with 2 action tokens. That is so cool. He can just, like, teleport behind you, nothing personnel kids, somebody with 2 action tokens. Does give him an action token, but it does still mean that you're going to be able to get that Perplex off for free, and just, I don't know, he seems like he has a ton of versatility. We can see he also does have the Sinestro Corps slogan, kind of intermittently throughout his powers. In blackest day and brightest night, beware your fears made into light. Let those who try to stop what's right burn like my power, Sinestro's might. And then finally, just one last one, nothing frightens me, I am fear. He also has a special damage power down here. One thing about old cards that I will say that I do like about newer cards is in newer cards they put all of the special powers up front so you can read them. Back in the old cards you had to hunt around for where they were, because they were actually put chronologic, kind of like where they were on the dial. So we can see he starts the game without wit, and eventually he gets this damage power. Not my favorite thing, but oh well, it's now not a thing at all. I Smell Your Fear. When Sinestro attacks a character that has a combat value reduced below its printed value, he deals penetrating damage. That is so mean. I love this Sinestro. Because of course he's always going to be able to deal penetrating damage, because he's always going to be able to use that Perplex. Absolutely just fun. Just a really cool guy. And he should be pretty fun, because at 250 on his top line, he is going to be the majority of your team. Basically, you would run him, and you would run the yellow power battery. He would get like a +3 to all of his stats or something stupid, and then he would give you a -2 to all of your stats, and it was very fun for Sinestro and not very fun for his opponent. Taking a look at his top dial, we can see a little bit, still a little fuzzy. 12 attack, 18 defense, 4 damage. 12 attack was absurd back in the day. It was so rare to see characters with 12 attack who weren't 250 points, which is why he has 250 points. So yeah, he is going to be hitting you on a 12. You will probably have a 15 defense, and he will be dealing penetrating damage. And he also has a wit to counter if you have like combat reflexes or something. So overall, this Sinestro was one of my favorite pieces of all time, and honestly, even with the new meta, I'll have to take a look at his stats, because I wonder if he's still playable with new rules. Probably not, but that's fine. And that is all for the starter set. That is just the beginning of what we're going through today. Try not to take too much time on the stuff like the map, because I know that everybody is interested in seeing what is in the booster packs. Whoops. So, with that being said, let's go ahead. And instead of getting to the booster packs, what if instead I just show you some pieces that I like? So, like I said, it was a 6-month-long event, and when you would play in the event, if you were just to participate, you would get a different Green Lantern leader character as the participation prize. So we can see here is Guy Gardner, again with a really unique base because he has a slot for a construct. I also have here my boy, the best Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, in his kind of classic Green Lantern outfit. Love this look, by the way. He has that like dual color like emblem that I super love, and he also is like one of the only Green Lanterns who really wears white as like a central color of his outfit. I don't know. I really like Kyle Rayner. Finally, I have Ron Vidar. I do not know anything about Ron Vidar. I believe he is part of the Legion of Superheroes in the future, but I have not read the Legion of Superheroes, so I do not know. Yep, that is the Legion of Superheroes set team ability, so he is definitely from the future. I know nothing about him. So that is what participation prizes looked like. If you won, you would end up getting a leader of one of the different cores. So we can see here I have a slightly broken, get up there, Star Sapphire. Star Sapphire, longtime love interest of Hal Jordan. She ended up, I don't remember the exact lore, but she ended up with the Zamarons, whatever, I can't remember, kind of female guardians, and they formed the the Star Sapphire Corps of Love. Kind of one of the more aggressive Green Lantern Corps, ironically enough. Usually not antagonistic, but sometimes she will get in bouts with Hal Jordan over different things. Casual relationship stuff, you know how it is. So yeah, every month, if you were the victor, you would get a leader of the Corps. So that is where you would get characters like Archilo, Atrocitus, Indigo 1. Basically, if they were a leader of a Corps, you had to win the tournament to get them. I did have all of them at one point because I did win the entire tournament. I do not have them on me, so I cannot show you what all of the sculpts looked like or what the cards looked like, so that is very sad. Some other things I just want to take a look at for a second is my first ever Heroclix set was actually the War of Light starter set. It is the War of Light starter set. It was a different War of Light than this War of Light. You can see this one's a little older. It was based on the War of Light storyline, which had a bunch of popular DC characters get their own rings based on their primary emotion. So we can see here, this is Yellow Lantern Scarecrow, and this is still one of my favorite sculpts of all time. Just seeing him there with the Yellow Lantern color scheme and these like crows that are kind of being manifest from the yellow light. Love that piece so much. We also have one of my favorite characters of all time and one of my favorite forms of all time. We have Blue Lantern Flash here. Flash was one of the characters who got a deputy ring, and he was manifest as a Blue Lantern. Up until recently, this was the only Blue Lantern piece in Blue Lantern Flash piece in the game, until the Wonder Woman set actually released a Chase Blue Lantern Flash that I don't own. So that's heartbreaking. But again, I love these sculpts, man. These War of Light sculpts were so good. You can see they're actually so old that they have the pre-Oreo bases where it's just like a single piece, and they were a pain to click. He still has a really high movement value. Actually, these are still really solid stats for nowadays. I wonder if this piece is even close to playable. Now that I've done wasting your time, it's time we get into the main attraction with booster pack number 1. I've not figured out my camera situation too well. Let's see what we can do. So, again, like I said, there were 2 waves of War of Light. This is wave number 1 that we're going to be taking a look at today. You can tell the waves because wave 1 has a Green Lantern symbol. Wave 2 has the Black Lantern symbol. Wave 1, we are going to be looking for orange lanterns, yellow lanterns, green lanterns, and blue lanterns, and like 2 white lanterns. Jalen has made his way to the chat. Hello, Jalen. It is good to see you. I'm cutting my booster off screen because some people stated that they were constantly concerned that I was going to cut myself. So if I am going to cut myself, you might as well not see it. Oh, geez. With that being said, I almost cut myself. So let's take a look at what we got. Hopefully we should see the majority of the set today, since I do have an entire case waiting to be unboxed. With that being said, we cannot waste too much time on any particular booster pack because we have an entire case to unbox. So, Let's take a look. We have a Glomulus. Glomulus? I don't remember his name. We have a Green Lantern recruit, I believe that is. Yo, Blue Lantern, Kyle Rayner. I see a... Oh, I see our chase already. And we have a Crib, I believe that is. And finally, first booster pack with the luck of Jalen, we have the White Lantern Entity. Let's take a look at all of those. That is very exciting. Jalen, did you miss anything? Nope, I just opened the starter set, showed off a few old pieces, and now that was the first booster pack, and you've already hit us with the real luck. So let's start by taking a look at the Green Lantern Recruit. Here he is. I do not know if this character was based on anything. I doubt he has any particular special powers. He's just kind of a Cyclops Green Lantern guy. Perfectly fine. Let's take a look at what he does. Green Lantern Recruit. He has the minion keyword. I love this. This was kind of a precursor to the sidekick captain system that we saw in the past. Green Lantern Corps. When a friendly character with the Green Lantern Corps keyword that's 75 points or more is within 8 squares, modify Green Lantern Recruit's attack by +1. So basically just a really nice little benefit to using theme teams. We also have Will. Green Lantern Recruit can use willpower when opposing character targets him without Wit or Perplex. Roll a d6. On a 4 through 6, ignore the effect. Just the standard willpower, you can tell because it just says will. It's funnily enough, it's actually missing, I believe it's missing the colon there, but I'm just overanalyzing this card. So, that is all we have there. Moving on. Since I don't have any stories to tell you, I will move on to somebody who I do have a story to tell you about. This is Orange Lantern Construct. However, anybody who's read the comic knows this as Glomulus. Let's take a look. Orange Lantern Construct, you can see he has the New Guardians keyword because he is part of the New Guardians, because this is Glomulus, and you can't fool me. You can call him whatever you want, game. This is just the character Glomulus. He has the minion Orange Construct. If a character with the Orange Lantern keyword that's 70 points or more was given a non-free action this turn, he can use Sidestep. That's actually very powerful to be able to move around a lot of your little sheep minions. We also have Greed. Orange Lantern Construct can use Barrier and Plasticity. And that is it. Nothing on the back. We can see real name Various. Nope, his real name is Glomulus. You can fight me. So what is the Green Lantern, the Orange Lantern Construct? Well, the Orange Lantern is the Lantern of Greed. Unlike every other Lantern Corps, there is only one of them because they are always fighting over who gets the Orange Lantern rings, because they're greedy. So because of that, the only surviving Green Lantern is Larfleeze, also known as Agent Orange. The way that Orange Lanterns work is if they kill somebody with their ring, they actually absorb their essence and can form that character as a construct. So this is Glomulus. He was a character who was killed by Larfleeze a long time ago. I think he was trying to steal something from Larfleeze or something. So he was remanifest as a construct. And kind of a lot of his story, from what I remember, is him starting to get some of his memories back about being alive before Larfleeze killed him. So, yeah, just kind of a lot of story there for a character who they didn't even give a proper name. Very sad. Moving on to my favorite boy, we have Kyle Rayner as a Blue Lantern. So Kyle Rayner, he is the only Green Lantern character that I can know of, at least, who mastered the entire emotional spectrum. Although his primary alignment, other than green, was probably blue. Blue Lanterns are the Blue Lanterns of Hope. So what they do is they're typically a support lantern group. If a Blue Lantern is paired with a Green Lantern, the Blue Lantern can actually overcharge a Green Lantern's battery. And then Blue Lanterns are also the only lanterns who are able to calm down the rage of a Red Lantern enough to allow them to take off their rings. So we will see how that is manifest in his card. We can see Kyle Rayner, Blue Lantern Corps. He has Hope, Green Lantern's Might. Kyle Rayner can use Perplex, but only to increase combat values. If the targeted character has the Green Lantern keyword, modify the combat value by +2 instead. Very strong. It is a movement power, so he is not going to be any move and attack, but at 85 points with some defend, He also has a healing blue energy. Kyle Rayner can use support when an adjacent friendly character misses with an attack roll. Kyle Rayner can use support as a free action this turn, but only to target that character. Wow, that is actually very interesting. So just a very solid support character. He seems a little expensive judging by this. I don't know if I'd be super happy paying about a third of my total points on a support character. But with that being said, 8 range double target, energy explosion, which is actually a little bit better now than it used to be. Maybe he is almost playable now. But nonetheless, it is my guy, Kyle Rayner. We should hopefully see a few different colors of Kyle Rayner pop up in the future, including White Lantern Kyle Rayner. And oh boy, I can't wait to talk about White Lantern Kyle Rayner. But let's move on to our rare already, because we have a chase. We have a Sinestro Corps member, a little bit lopsided there. Let's see if we can push her a little bit more into place without breaking her. This is Crib. I believe she is a Sinestro Corps baby stealer character, as illustrated by the bag of babies that are on her back. Just a wild character. So the Sinestro Corps are the Lanterns of Fear, led by Sinestro himself. So a lot of their characters are monsters, horrible creatures. I believe one of them is actually just a predator from the show Predator. So a lot of wild stuff going on with the Sinestro Corps. Taking a look, we can see she has the Kidnap ability. Give Crib a move action when she isn't within range and line of fire of any opposing characters. After action resolves, she may place one opposing character into an adjacent square. If that character has a point value of 100 points or less and occupies a square she moved through this turn, she then may make a close attack as a free action targeting that character. Wow, so you can reposition an opposing character if they're cheap enough and then just get a free attack on them. That is actually pretty dangerous against like support characters. Also has plasticity. We shall be together forever, making sure that if she kidnaps you, you are not getting away. Steals babies and traps them in endless nightmares to harvest their fear. That is terrifying. Fear Captivate. She can use Perplex, but only to decrease combat values. When she does, if your target has 0 action tokens and is 100 points or less, give it an action token. Wow, just flat out free action tokens. She is a rough tie-up character for cheap characters, man. Plus, like, since you get that free attack and you have plasticity, you can actually just, like, keep dragging them further into a corner. Wow, that is actually, like, really, like, no one should be surprised here, but this is a terrifying character both in-game and out of game. Jeez. Now, for the main course, if I can get it out of its plastic bag. We have the White Entity. Oh my goodness, look at this. Doesn't have a name of its own. I believe it is just, yep, Entity. Wow, that, like, translucent plastic is so good. These chases are so gorgeous. So the Entity is the Entity of Life. The, how do I even explain it? So Earth Prime, the main Earth in DC Comics, hosts the Entity inside of it, which means that all life in the DC universe stems from Earth, from Entity living inside Earth. So the Blackest Night event was all about Necron, the Entity of Death, trying to resurrect zombies on Earth in an attempt to kill the White Entity and stop life forever. However, I believe near the end, the White Entity does give out a bunch of white rings, creating the first temporary White Lantern Corps, featuring, I think, even Sinestro. I don't remember all of the characters who were in it, but White Lantern Batman, White Lantern Superman, we saw a lot of those at the end of Blackest Night, and then going into Brightest Day. Basically, this was the culmination of Geoff Johns' entire Green Lantern storyline. If you have not read the Green Lantern comics by Geoff Johns, I would absolutely recommend it because they are absolutely fantastic. So, kind of going here. I actually don't have a white ring right now, so we'll just put him over there. I'm so excited to see more of these chases. Let's take a look at what he does. We can see his card is actually inversely wrapped, which is a little weird. We have the Entity. I'm not going to read through this entire Entity possession trait, Basically, the way it works is you can pay him at 25 points, and then he can act as a resource, attaching himself onto one of your characters, giving them stat buffs, and also the White Lantern Corps keyword. Moving on, we can see... Chow. If I can get it to focus. There we go. Please. Please. No? Oh, that's pretty good. At the beginning of your turn, you may heal one adjacent character without the Black Lantern keyword one click. Cosmic Life. Entity can use Regeneration and the Quintessence team ability. Quintessence is the equivalent of Cosmic Power nowadays. When turning the dial, if this click is revealed due to damage taken from an opponent's attack, stop turning the dial. This power can't be ignored. Yep, this set, every White Lantern actually has a stop click. This was before stop clicks were a keyword, so all of them are written out in this long, clunky way, but they function in the exact same way that you would expect them to nowadays. So he gets Regeneration, Quintessence, and a stop click. Nice. No special abilities there, so yeah, that is what he gives. I don't think he's the strongest entity, but I gotta say, if you possess somebody, and give them that healing ability, that can be a bit of a nuisance. Especially a lot of White Lantern characters just have a lot of healing kind of innate, so I can see that being used on like a White Lantern team. But even then, I love the sculpt. It is so gorgeous. So with that being said, let's take a break for a second as I grab something really quick. Give me half a second. I've returned. Gracias for that half of a second. What I wanted to show off, I thought it was fitting, is I actually have a White Lantern Sinestro here. One of my absolute favorite pieces. I never played it personally, but this sculpt is just incredible. So this is a slightly older piece, as you can tell. For DC 75th Anniversary, they actually released a few characters as White Lantern, including White Lantern Superman and White Lantern Batman. And this Sinestro is one of them, and just look at this piece. It's so gorgeous. They did like a gray wash around the so like it really just like gives the abs like definition and stuff like that. Oh man, Riz Kids, when you try, your pieces are gorgeous. One of my all-time favorite pieces right there. We can see 8 range. Don't have his card on me at the moment. He is 250 points with Quintessence, so power cosmic effectively, cosmic power. Top stats. Looking at a 12, 12, 18, 5. 18 is actually a little bit low even for then, in my opinion, for a 250-point character. But then again, he has... you can tell, it's crazy that this Sinestro and the other Sinestro we looked at are both 250 points. But this one just has more attack and more damage. But then again, the other one has, like, insane powers. So this guy, I think, just has a stop click. But man, I love this piece. I'm going to put him up there, too. He's staying next to the entity, just right over there. Say hi, Sinestro. Anyway, let's dive into the second booster. We have our chase down. Maybe we can still find a prime, and we're still looking for 3 super rares. Let's take a look. We have a Blue Lantern Recruit, Tomar Ray, question mark. We have Lysa Drac, Weaponer of Cord, and we have, first of all, we have a ring, and we also have Hal Jordan Parallax, a really nice rare. So let us dive into it. Starting with the Blue Lantern Recruit. So, here we can see the Blue Lantern Recruit. Let's see if I can get a good place for the lighting. Just a kind of cat person with a loincloth. So the Blue Lanterns, the Blue Lanterns of Hope, from, if I remember correctly, they were formed by Ganthet, one of the Guardians, after he gets fed up with the other Guardians being evil all of the time. So he goes and makes a peaceful Lantern Corps along with Saint Walker, and that becomes the Blue Lantern Corps. All of them are very kind of monk aesthetic. So we can see here that's kind of the loincloth. If we see Brother Worth in this video and a few other characters, you can see that they have a very kind of holy aesthetic to him. Taking a look at his card real quick, we can see he has the Minion Blue Lantern Core. When a friendly character within, or that with the Blue Lantern Core, the 75 points or more is within 8 squares, modifies defense by +1. Again, just very passive, not very aggressive. Hope Blue Lantern Core can use Perplex, but only to increase his combat values. And that is probably it, yep. But we can see probability control actually on a minion and support. For 50 points, I actually wonder if that guy's better than you would initially expect, just because he gets some high-end powers. Taking a look at our next piece, we have, oops, sculpt first. We have Romat Rue. So this is one of the kind of bird people. The other one is Tomar Ray, a Green Lantern. I believe there's actually a prime of him in this set. Yep, that is 13A. So I don't know a lot about this character specifically, other than he is the same species as Tomar Ray. Taking a look at his powers. He does not appear to have anything unique. 77 points. Oh, there's a Perplex. Romat Rue can use Perplex, but only to decrease combat values. Yeah, so just kind of like a little filler unit for your Sinestro Corps army. Nothing incredible going on there. Moving on, we do have a character who is very lore important, but I don't know as much about her as I should. New to Heroclix, when is this set from? So this is War of Light. It is originally released in 2014. I will show you a booster pack right now. I know a lot of people are probably talking about Green Lantern in relation to Batman Team Up, which just released. However, I'm old school, and this is my favorite set ever because it has just everything Green Lantern in it. It released in 2 waves, so we are opening Wave 1 today. That has the Green Lantern symbol on the front. You can also find Wave 2 in shops with the Black Lantern symbol. The difference is that Wave 1 has the orange, yellow, green, blue lanterns and white. Wave 2 has black, red, indigo, and star sapphires. So if there's some core that you like, make sure you buy the booster packs that match the core that you like. Moving on to what we just opened up, we have Lysa Drac. Let me see if I can find a good place to put her with the lighting setup I have. So there we can see, in her hands, I believe that is the Book of Black. I believe she is Sinestro Corps base, but she has ties to the Black Lanterns. From what I remember, the Book of Black is a book that was written by the more evil Guardian Krona, because he was doing some evil stuff about trying to witness the beginning of the universe or something, and something to do with the entities. I don't remember exactly. Basically, I believe it's an evil prophecy book that she is reading from. So, let us see what she does. Yep, I am right. She is Sinestro Corps and Black Lantern Corps. We have the Book of Parallax / Book of Black. Okay, I guess she's reading 2 different books, depending on which comic she's from. Lysa Drac can use probability control regardless of range and line of fire, but can only target opposing characters with it, and only when they attack a character with a keyword she possesses. So there you go, just a very strong probability control. They can hit anywhere on the map as long as you have a theme team going. She also has Fear, Sharp as a Knife. Lysa Drac can use Perplex, but only to decrease combat values. When she does, friendly characters targeting that character with an attack this turn can use Precision Strike. So, just a nice little benefit to your Sinestro Corps team. Definitely a more kind of support-focused character, but at 100 points, she's kind of expensive. I don't know, this sculpt is really cool. I wish I remembered more about her, to be honest. Because I know she was definitely important in something, I just don't remember what that something is. Going from there, we have the Weaponer of Cord, another character who's actually very important from the lore, although you probably couldn't tell by his looks, considering he is not immediately affiliated with a Lantern Corps. But he is actually affiliated with both the Yellow and the White Lanterns. So, the Weaponer of Cord, there are many Weaponers of Cord, and they were the ones who helped Sinestro forge his Sinestro Corps ring that allowed him to harness the yellow light of fear. However, one Weaponer decided that he was fed up with Sinestro being evil all the time. So he kind of forged his own weapons of some variety, and he went and fought against Sinestro in some storyline or another. So, We can see that representation here. This is supposed to be the Weaponer of Kord, the one who fought against Sinestro. He is 211 points, and he was worth every point. He has Out of My Way Scum. The Weaponer of Kord can use Charge and Running Shot. When he does, his speed value isn't halved. He also has Weapon Reconfigure. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose a standard attack power. The Weaponer of Kord can use that power until you choose again. Looking at the back, we can see he has one less power hidden here. Life, the Weaponer of Kord can use Regeneration, and it is a stop click. So, again, just a really scary character. You can see those stats. 12 attack, 18 defense, and 5 damage, 8 range, double target for 200 points. Back then, this was insane, and he got a full ranged move and attack, and he could choose any attack power he wanted. This guy was... If you pulled this guy in sealed, you would run this guy, and he would be your entire team, and you would wipe everybody who you went up against. He was a monster, and he still seems like he might be good nowadays even. That is how crazy I think that piece is. Now, on to our rare. If I can get him out of the packaging without damaging him. Yeah, there we go. We have Hal Jordan as Parallax. Basically villain Hal Jordan. So what happened here was, I don't remember the exact details. It was a long time ago in like the 80s, I think. But basically, Hal Jordan wanted to save his home city, but the Guardian said no. And because of that, his city got destroyed and everyone he loved was killed. So he lost his mind and killed the entire Green Lantern Corps. Like, everyone. So if you've ever seen a picture of Hal Jordan wearing, like, a bunch of Green Lantern rings, kind of looking like a maniac, that is from this storyline when he turns evil. Later, it was retconned that he was actually possessed by Parallax, the entity of fear, and that caused him to turn evil. So that's what we're looking at here. And that also explains why Hal Jordan is still considered a good guy, even after he murdered the entire Green Lantern Corps. So we can see, you can see the green and yellow combination there. The death of Coast City, there it is. When an action resolves, during which a square blocking terrain was destroyed, remove an action token from Parallax or an adjacent friendly character that shares a keyword with him. So just some free action removal, especially if you have any way of quickly destroying terrain. Quintessence team ability, 250 points. Here we have Fear that all your power can't bring it back. Parallax can use Perplex, but only to decrease combat values. When a character with combat value modifies by this power misses with an attack roll, deal it 1 penetrating damage. Basically, you just pop down their attack, and then maybe they hurt themselves next turn. Rough. Slaughter the Guardians. Again, he was very angry at this point in time. Hal Jordan and Parallax from Green Lantern 15, 1994. Yeah, so it was a while ago. But it left us with this marvelous design for Parallax. I love this outfit, man, and I'm sad that... actually, I believe Sinestro eventually gets possessed by Parallax willingly, and I believe this is roughly the outfit that he takes when he does it, so except yellow. I think there was a piece of that in Trinity War that I have lying around somewhere. Finally, whoops, another relic to add to my collection. We have the Orange Lantern Ring. So, as previously mentioned, there's only technically one Orange Lantern. It is Larfleeze. This gives you the power of greed, and it also, if you kill somebody with it, you can re-summon their spirit as an Orange Lantern construct. So let's see how they manifest that in-game. Go here. They did it by Orange Lantern Ring. If this character already has the Orange Lantern keyword, modify all their combat values. Otherwise, this character has the Orange Lantern keyword and can use Barrier and Plasticity. That's interesting. I was actually expecting Outwit, to be honest, but that might have been too strong. So, I don't like this ring very much, to be honest, but to be fair, I don't like most of the ring's powers. I just love them aesthetically because I'm a Green Lantern nerd. But there we go. So we are now missing 1, 2, 3 rings, I believe. Yep. So let's see if we can find the other ones. move into the next booster. I know we're taking a little bit of time here with each booster pack, but as we get further in this set, we're going to take a look at less and less pieces because every piece that we uncover will be won't be unique anymore. Taking a look at this booster pack, we're still waiting on 3 super rares. We have a Yellow Lantern Recruit, Green Lantern Recruit, Brutica, I believe, something getting in the way, which Blue Lantern, Kyle Rayner, and ooh, we have a Yellow Lantern Superman Prime, our first super rare, and a pretty sick one at that. So as you can already see, we've already seen 2 of the pieces in this booster pack, so we will skip over them and move on to everything we have not seen. Starting with Sinestro Corps Recruit here. Just kind of like a weird worm guy. Doesn't really have a face, just kind of has a mouth. Again, if this is based on a Sinestro Corps character, I do not know who it is. Taking a look at what he does. Minion Sinestro Corps, when a friendly character with innate squares, that is modifies damage by +1. That is actually pretty rough extra damage. Sinestro Corps can use Perplex, but only to decrease combat values. So that actually, I think that used to be a lot stronger back in the past. You used to be able to Perplex damage, so a character like this could Perplex down opponent's damage and just make them not do anything. Nowadays, I don't think that's as strong because you can no longer Perplex damage. Moving up from there, we have the first of the Alpha Corps. It is Brutica. I remember their names. She lost her arm, I remember, in something or other, so then she gets it replaced with a construct, which is pretty metal. Again, I don't remember a ton about the Alpha Corps. Frankly, I don't even think there's that many of them in this set. If it's even a keyword at all, let's find out. No, she is a Lost Lantern. Am I insane? Is she not an Alpha Corps? Are the Alpha Corps not in this set? Am I making up the Alpha Corps? So we can see she is the Lost Lantern. That gives her like a black gradient here. I don't know anything about the Lost Lanterns, to be honest. We have Will, Lost Lantern. Boudica can use Willpower when a friendly character within 3 squares, except those with the Lost Lantern keyword. She can use Outwit until your next turn when no friendly characters. Okay, so if you kind of keep them far away from each other, she can use some extra powers. Originally from 1992. Yeah, I guess that would be before the Alpha Corps. Maybe she does become an Alpha Corps, maybe she doesn't become an Alpha Corps. I don't know, I'm going to tell you about the Alpha Corps anyway. The Alpha Corps is basically, the Guardians were tired of characters like Hal Jordan, kind of going off and doing their own thing so frequently, so they created the Alpha Corps, which combined Green Lanterns with robots effectively. Kind of like a mixture between Green Lantern and, what is the name? The Manhunters, that's the one. Kind of a mixture between the Green Lantern and the Manhunters. However, not a lot of people really liked the Alpha Corps to join them because you would lose a big chunk of your humanity, and people weren't exactly pro that. Moving on to our super rare, and a really cool one. It is Superboy Prime as a Yellow Lantern. So Superboy, petulant child. I don't know a lot about him in Superman lore, but I do know he is constantly an antagonist in Green Lantern world. I believe you can also get him as a Red Lantern in this set. So he assisted Sinestro in the Sinestro Corps War when Sinestro decided to try to invade Earth. I swear this happened, but I cannot find any comic images of it on Google whenever I search for it. I believe he burns the Sinestro Corps logo into the moon, so then that's all you can see at night, which is horrifying. And I remember this piece being a monster, so let's take a look if that's true. Superboy Prime, he has X-ray vision. This is how they used to display upgraded abilities back then. It would have its own little power section. That's irrelevant. Don't you get it? I'm stronger than you. When Superboy Prime is dealt penetrating damage from a character 150 points or less, it can be reduced. Rough. He also starts with hypersonic speed, which is good to know. Run, cowards. Superboy Prime's attacks generate knockback, and opposing characters that take damage from his attacks are given an action token. And he is flat out 300 points, an entire team. Fear Submission. Superboy Prime can use Perplex, but only to decrease combat values. When he does, decrease the combat value by an additional amount equal to the number of action tokens on the target at the time. Real name Kor-El, so maybe he is actually related to Superman somehow. I do not know. And then we can see Green Lantern Sinestro Corps Special is his first appearance. Just a mean piece. I don't know how much I love him at 350. Taking a look at his top dial, we could see 9 range is absurd. He has hypersonic speed with 11 attack, 18 impervious, and he can reduce penetrating damage as long as they're not super expensive. I don't know. Do I like him at full points? I don't know. Do I love the sculpt and do I love the character? Am I happy to have him? Absolutely. So there's our first super rare. Moving on to the next booster pack. Still looking for 2 more super rares and possibly a prime if we're the luckiest person alive. We have a Glomulus, another Orange Lantern controller construct, a Boudica. We have Brother Him. We also have the super rare Swamp Thing. So far, we've been killing it with some White Lanterns in this pack. So we've seen 2 of these as well. So I will get us onto the good things that we've yet to see, including a controller construct. So if you remember our first video, the controllers were a faction present in the booster packs. Basically, at some point, Larfleeze encountered them, killed them all, and now he resummons all of them as his own constructs. You can see controller construct. Minion Orange Construct. If a character with the Orange Lantern keyword that's 75 points or more is given a non-free action, it can use Sidestep. Again, just very strong. Greed, he can use Barrier and Plasticity, and that is it. They do get outwit at the end, so again, not a super interesting character, but they needed... there literally aren't enough Orange Lanterns for them to make characters of anything else. Moving up to our uncommon. We have Brother Him. He is another, if I can get it to focus. Come on, you can do it. He is another Blue Lantern character. Again, you can see that Brother Him, kind of a religious kind of name. I don't know anything about this character other than that he is a Blue Lantern with 8 range. Hope, Brother Him can use Perplex, but only to increase combat values. Stand Together, Brother Him can use Enhancement. Adjacent friendly characters modify their range by +1. And Healing Blue Energy, he can use Support when adjacent friendly characters misses with an attack. He can use Support as free, but only to target that character. I love that. I wish that was... He does get prob, but you have to be really low on Brother Him's dial for that attack to show up, so, eh. It's 2 in Sweden. You need to sleep. That is perfectly fair. I appreciate your company, Cobra Commander. This video will be up in its entirety on my channel tomorrow, so if you're interested in seeing what else I get, you are welcome to. Otherwise, just thanks for the company for the time that you gave me. Moving on, the only thing to look at is our super rare. And it is a really neat one. Swamp Thing. Weird to see Swamp Thing in this set, you would think, but actually not. He is actually the keeper of the white light, I believe, because he is like the... Because he's like the keeper of the green, which is like life essence anyway, so they just kind of merged him with Green Lantern, and now he is a White Lantern. I think he was blessed specifically by the entity with that role as a kind of a White Lantern kind of knight character, basically. Let's take a look at what he does, because I remember it's all really cool. Ooh, he is a table. I love it when we have tables. First of all, his entire front page is just special abilities, jeez. Earth Elemental, he ignores basically everything for movement. Like, actually, yeah, everything for movement. Restore the green, give him a move action, and after action resolves, you can place hindering terrain in clear squares he moved through, and he make a close combat attack targeting one opposing character occupying a hindering that he placed. These markers aren't removed when he's KO'd. 4 elements joined. Once during your turn, you may choose air, earth, fire, or water. Swamp Thing can use the associated power until you choose again. So you can basically just always have access to telekinesis, barrier, energy, explosion, and shape change. I love all of that. We can see he has life, which is just a regeneration stop click, and he has resurrect the fallen. When a friendly character within range and occupying hindering terrain would be KO'd, roll a d6. On a 5, instead click them to their non-KO click and heal them 1, and they are now assigned 1 action token. On a 6, instead heal them, and then heal them 2 clicks and remove all action tokens from them. Just a cool character. So basically, you're just going to want to play him, run him all over the map, making the entire map hindering, and then just stop your characters from dying if they're in hindering terrain. Plus, I imagine... Oh, he doesn't have the monster keyword, which is a little sad. But I imagine there's still some fun plant teams you can run him with if you have, like, Krakoa from the animated X-Men series. I'm sure there's a few man things that you could run this guy with. Just make a swamp team. Swamp team that benefits from having hindering terrain. And that is the next booster pack down. You can see we're making our way through this a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker each time. Still looking for one more super rare and possibly a prime if we're very lucky. Taking a look at this booster, we have... Ooh, Sade, one of the Blue Lanterns. Mongol, Romat Rue, Orange Lantern, Hal Jordan. The Blue Lantern ring and a Controller construct. Awesome. Another ring is always much appreciated. Up first, we have Orange Lantern Kyle Rayner. Hal Jordan, jeez, I'm so bad. There we go. There's prime lighting area. I don't remember exactly why he has an Orange Lantern ring in this scenario. I don't know what storyline this is from. We'll have to check. It's actually very notable. You can still see the green ring on his hand, so I do not know why he even has orange in this part. He might actually be dual-wielding rings, which is rare, but very cool. I don't know. Let's see if the card gives us any information. Greed. He has barrier and plasticity. And Willful Greed, him and adjacent friendly characters can use willpower. First seen in Emerald Warriors 2011. Nope, do not know. So just kind of a basic representation of Hal Jordan with a orange ring for some reason or another. Could not tell you why. Moving up next to our uncommon. If I can get him out, he is a tanky boy. We have Mongol. Mongol is a notable DC villain who, again, was turned into a Sinestro Corps member. That's why I love Green Lantern, because every character who is, like, notable in DC can become a Lantern in some capacity, and it just makes them, like, more intimidating and interesting in certain storylines, and, it's good. Mongol, I believe, is the guy who killed Kyle Rayner's girlfriend and shoved her into a fridge. He also, I believe, joins the Sinestro Corps during the Sinestro Corps War event and tries to destroy the Earth. I believe he's fought Superman a few times, but again, I'm not super familiar with the character alone. Let's take a look at what he does and if he looks like he shoves people into fridges. We have Thrall of the Black Mercy. When a character with a Black Mercy token would have one or more action tokens removed, remove the Black Mercy instead. Give Mongol a free action and make a closer ranged attack targeting an opposing character with the Black Mercy token regardless of range or fire, if he hasn't already attacked that character this turn. Finally, Black Mercy's Bite. He can use Incapacitate when he does hit characters that are also given a Black Mercy token if they don't have one already. Finally, we have Fear Hopeless. He can use Perplex, but only to decrease combat values. When he does, also modify their attack by -1. Rough. Also, Mongol the Second. How interesting. Just kind of a rough character, basically. So you're going to be hitting them with Incapacitate, giving them these Black Mercy tokens, attacking them for free because you gave them a Black Mercy token next turn. And then when they clear, instead they're just going to be clearing a Black Mercy token. That is rough. I would describe that as fridge shoving in quality. What? Oh, I was wrong. I apologize. I said we have Sade. I am incorrect. It turns out Ganthet actually just has a ponytail. So we have Blue Lantern Ganthet here. Ganthet is kind of one of the main guardians of the universe. Unlike every other guardian of the universe, he is not evil and a terrible person. Because of this, he decides that the Green Lantern Corps is kind of a weapon of evil, kind of under the control of the Guardians. So he goes and creates the Blue Lantern Corps, which are all good and peaceful. He does it alongside Sade, a female friendly Guardian. We have a bit of thing there. With Pain Hope, Ganthet can use Incapacitate. When he does, after action resolves, hit characters are each dealt his printed damage value until your next turn. Each hit character increases its defense value by the number of action tokens it's assigned. Wow, so he only has one target base, but there are ways of giving him more targets. So you can actually hit, what do you think his top damage value is? Let's take a look. It is 4 with an 11 attack, 175 points. He's actually pretty beefy, more than I expected a Blue Lantern to be. But if you can manage to give him more targets, you can actually hit multiple characters for 4 damage in a single turn and give them action tokens. Rough. With Quintessence, which is the equivalent of Power Cosmic, just kind of removing action tokens. Hope Spreading. Ganthet can use Perplex, but only to increase combat values. When he does, you may increase the same combat value on all friendly characters within his range and line of fire. Wow. Again, I just... Also, the Blue Lanterns are known for their phrase of, like, all will be well. This is all will be well, but not for you. And it's Outwit. Jeez. So overall, kind of a very aggressive character for a very passive group of characters, but I gotta say, I do really like him. Finally, we have our newest piece of jewelry. One of my favorite cores. It is the Blue Lantern Corps. And again, I've talked about them a whole lot. Or is it like this? I genuinely don't know. That feels more right. Blue Lantern Corps of Hope. I just really love them, to be honest. They play a relatively big role in the Green Lantern animated series. The Green Lantern animated series is not technically canon in any Green Lantern respect, but it's close enough to where you would get a good understanding of Green Lantern by watching it. So I would recommend, if you have not seen the Green Lantern animated TV series, go watch it. It's really good. Features Green Lanterns, Red Lanterns, a whole bunch of different stuff. Goes here. Also, their entity is Adara, a bird, and I really like Adara, so maybe we'll see Adara pop up. Here we can see, characterize Blue Lanterns, modify all their combat values by +1. Otherwise, it has a Blue Lantern keyword and can use Perplex, but only to increase combat values. I actually do think that Perplex is probably one of the better ring abilities. So now we are only missing the white ring and the yellow ring, so let's see if we can pull those in these next few boosters. We are halfway done by this brick, but you can already see that we're only doing 1 or 2 pieces per booster now. And this booster is going to give us... Zoom out. We have Glomulus. Green-blue Hal Jordan. I keep calling him Kyle Rayner. Girl, whose name is something, I cannot remember. Mongol, and Zelias Zox, Red Lantern super rare. That's interesting. I didn't know Red Lanterns were supposed to be in this set. 59A. We might have actually gotten this guy in our last unboxing. I'm not sure. But it is our last super rare, so I hope not. Trying to glance over to see if I already have him. So let's take a look at our dual-colored guy. It is blue and green Hal Jordan. Now, I don't remember what storyline this was from, but I remember a few different Green Lantern characters had to dual-wield rings, which included green-blue Hal and red-purple Guy Gardner, and it was super cool. One of the only times that characters really dual-wields their rings, and we just got this wonderful dual-color sculpt. You can see even, like, the trail of, the, like, flight trail is, like, 2 colors. Just really cool. I'm not a huge fan of, Hal Jordan, but I do like this dual-colored one. However, it doesn't have the Green Lantern keyword. That's interesting. Hope, Hal Jordan can use Perplex, but only to increase combat values. And Willful Hope, him and adjacent friendly characters can use Willpower. Improbable, maybe, but I make my own odds. Yep. So not a ton going on there. Not a crazy unique piece, but I do love this sculpt a ton. Next up, Aricia. Don't remember a lot about this character. I believe she is also a Lost Lantern. Yep. So here we can go. She is like an elf girl kind of character. I don't remember a lot about her. However, I think she is in a few... I think she's in the most recent animated movie, the one with Jon Stewart, but I genuinely don't remember. I don't remember a lot about this character. Taking a look... with no special powers, it also feels like maybe the game designers forgot about her. Nope. Will, Lost Lantern, it's just the Lost Lantern one, yep. So yeah, nothing crazy special here, just, she's not an elf. Okay. Well, that takes away the one thing I knew about her. I thought she was an elf. She is a Lost Lantern. I believe there's still one Lost Lantern we have yet to see, Graf Torum. Sure, that comes to mind. Trying to figure out if we have this lantern or not already, this Zelaya Sox. It's very weird that we pulled a red lantern in a set that isn't supposed to have any red lanterns. But again, it is a great sculpt. Zelaya Sox, he is, I believe he's like one of the second-in-commands of the Red Lantern Corps. If you want to know more about him, he is also heavily featured in the animated Green Lantern TV series. Again, if you have not seen the Green Lantern animated TV series, go watch it. It's so good. Jalen says red and purple. Yes, Guy Gardner is red and purple, and it is super sick. Taking a look at Zelias' powers. Zelias is just fun to say. Constricting Bite, he can use Blade's Claws, Fangs, and Plasticity. When he rolls a d6 for Blade's Claws, put a number of Bite tokens on his card equal to his printed damage value minus the d6 roll. So you have to roll bad to get Bite tokens. Give him a free action, remove 2 Bite tokens to make a close attack as a free action. That actually got a lot better because Blade's Claws now has a minimum result that you can roll. So you can actually like still deal damage and gain Bite tokens. That's actually interesting. Rage, he can use poison and deals penetrating damage when using it. That is the kind of basic rage power that we see on all the Red Lanterns, just that penetrating poison. It's the only time that poison was good back in the day because everybody had reducers. A little different nowadays, less reducers. Zelaya Sox can use shape change and toughness. Attacks roll off me. It is very interesting. I'm going to take a look really quick to see if we already have him, to be honest. Oh, we totally don't. Okay, then. We did get the zombie Gallius Zed. I guess I thought that was... I thought we got both of them. Crazy. I'll have to take a look and see if I have completed the collection of Green Lantern head characters. That is all from that booster pack. Moving on to number 6, if I can do my math right. Still possibility of finding a common prime, just saying. Oops, zoom out. We are looking at a Sinestro Corps recruit, Green Lantern recruit. We have, Beethoven, I believe his name is. And something huge here. Oh, it is one of my favorite characters. Who I don't know anything about. Sorry, one of my favorite sculpts, I guess I should say. But we will get to her in due time. first, do I have green? Green who? Green Guy Gardner? Yes, I do. He was actually one of the participation prizes for playing in the game, kind of with his classic vest outfit. Taking a look at just another really cool sculpt in this set. This set has so many cool sculpts and so many cool characters. We have Beethoven. Like a weird, like, clamshell dude. He has 10 range, which is absurd with the sharpshooter ability, which is basically doesn't exist anymore, but it meant he could make close combat attacks even if he was adjacent to somebody. Sorry, range combat attacks if he was adjacent. Just a crazy sculpt, man. If I remember correctly, he was a Sinestro Corps sniper, and he would snipe people like quadrants away, or something like absolutely absurd. Taking a look, did that rock just blink? If it isn't your turn and no characters within 2 squares of Beethoven, lines of fire to him are blocked. That is rough. Solid shell. Yeah, draw a bead across 3 sectors. And fear, just the normal one, decrease combat values, but with that 10 range, this guy can be rough. He has precision strike on his top click along with range combat expert. So for only 115 points, you're getting 10 range with 12 attack and 4 damage. That's really solid for that time, man. Moving on to our next uncommon, we have one of the last Blue Lanterns we haven't seen yet, Sister Circe, my bad. We can see just kind of another Blue Lantern character I don't know much about, and I wish I did so I could tell you stories, but I don't know them. Ugh, I'm sorry. Taking a look at what she does. She has Hope. She can use Perplex, but only increases combat values. Inspiration at the beginning of your turn. You may choose Empower or Enhancement. She can use that power this turn. That's kind of nice. Flexible kind of buffs. Also, Telekinesis. So, Healing Blue Energy. I'm assuming it's like all of the rest of them. Yes. Okay. So again, all the Blue Lanterns, they kind of do similar things. I don't know how I would feel about a theme team of Blue Lanterns. But I feel like they're really solid support pieces on like any other team, especially if you give people the Blue Lantern keyword through use of like the blue ring or something. I feel like you do quite a lot. Finally, moving on to our rare. One of my favorite sculpts in the set for reasons that are about to become apparent. We have Karu Sil. Look at this, a peanut-based character. And you're probably asking yourself, Talon, why is that one of your favorite sculpts in the entire game? And that's because she comes with this little pack of little, like... It's a little bystander token of, like, little Sinestro Corps, like, demon construct things. And you just pop her on her base. There we go. Look how cool that is, man. I love this sculpt. I love this piece. So let's find out what she does. It is, the pack is my family. She begins the game with the pack attached. When the pack is attached, she can use super senses. When she's KO'd, remove the pack. When the pack is KO'd, reattach to Karu Sil. Release the pack, give her a power action when it's attached, and place it in an adjacent square as a bystander described on this card. Here we can see the bystander token. It is a sidestep with 10 attack. Nothing crazy, but... it can use Blades, Claws, Fangs, give it a close combat action to make up to 3 close combat attacks as free actions. And if you use Blades, Claws, Fangs, decrease the d6 result by 2, minimum 1. Wow. Theoretically capable of dealing, what? So you would have to decrease it by 2, so you could deal 12 damage in a single action with these guys? Absolutely crazy. Just, like, place them next to somebody, immediately attack. Just a really cool character, man. I love this piece. One of my favorite pieces in the set. The way that they, like, bounce around her. Just really cool. Plus, peanut bases are neat. Booster down. Booster number 8. Up next. We're out of super rares. Could still find a common prime. we have... Oops, zoom out. Oh my god, there it is. There's the Common Prime Tomar 2. Okay. My luck is stupid sometimes. We also have Boudica. We have some cards getting in the way. We have another Bedovan. Sister Cersei. And our rare is Korg. No, who is this? Rockslide. No, this is Hanu. We also have a Construct that we will take a look at here. 6. So now we actually have 2 of the 4 Super Primes that were released in this set. And we don't have a ton to look at, so we will start off with our Prime, I suppose. Here he is. Tomar 2. If you have seen the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds, this is the Birdman. I don't know anything beyond that other than he's the Birdman. You can see he comes with a Construct, so he has a slot for it on his base. We have Green Lantern Corps and Lost Lanterns. He has the Construct ability. Final stand against Hal Jordan. I'm guessing this is during Parallax times when Hal Jordan was evil. Hal Jordan, maybe all of the Lost Lanterns were survivors from when Hal Jordan was a bad guy. I don't know. Final stand against Hal Jordan. Give Tomar 2 a power action. Choose an opposing character within 6 squares and line of fire. Until your next turn, that character can't target other friendly characters with an attack. Wow, so you basically, we've seen this on a few other characters that were a little bit cheaper. Still really nice to be able to draw aggro. If you have like a key character that you really need to survive for a turn, you can use Tomar 2 to do it. Taking a look at the back of his card, we have Will, Lost Lantern. I'm assuming it's the same as all the other ones. Yep. Face to Face with Lysa Drac. Wonder what that was about. Left for Dead by Hal. Protecting Coast City. Yeah, so I do think that these were all characters who fought Hal. Or at least had something to do with Hal when he lost his mind and became a villain. So, taking a look at the Construct he comes with. It is the Net. And if I had to guess, this probably just gives you Smoke Cloud, but let's take a look. But also, let's take a look what it looks like when it is attached onto him for fun. Look at that. Very exciting. Okay, let's see what it does. Character can use Smoke Cloud as a free action, but only plays 2 squares. Characters occupying these must break away if not already required to do so. That is actually very solid. I wish it was a free action. Oh, it is a free action. Wow, actually, wow, that net is actually very strong. Free action Smoke Cloud already gives you a lot of defensive capabilities. Free action Smoke Cloud that you have to break away from. That's actually just really good. Like, wow. So now the only thing to take a look at is our rare. It is not Rockslide or Hanu. I've been playing too much. Or it is Hanu. It is not Rockslide or Korg. I've been playing too much Marvel Snap lately. Trying to figure out how to get this guy out of his booster. He's so big. Here he is. Just a big old rock guy. Really love that you can see the Green Lantern rings on some of these characters, man. It's so cool. Huge character, man. If we compare this to, let's compare this to, sure, Tomar Ray. See, like, he's just, like, dwarfed by this man. Oh, my goodness. Crazy. By the look of his card, he is another Lost Lantern. I don't know anything about his story. Don't ask. The ring is a crutch. Once per game, give him a free action. He has a range value of 6 for the rest of the game. If you do modify his attack value by... What? Sorry, let me reread this. Once per game, give Hanu a free action, and he has a range value of 6 for the rest of the game. If you do, modify his attack value by +1. He has 0. Oh, okay, so he's actually a melee character, but you can turn him into a range character and give him a buff to his attack value. I don't know why you would ever not do that at the start of the game. Yeah, we'll see. Will, Lost Lantern, same thing that we always see. He has a lot of kind of close combat abilities. Yeah. Yeah, okay, this ability is kind of cool. Oh, until you do modify his attack by +1. Okay, there's the downside. I read that backwards. So he has +1 attack, and then when you eventually decide to, you can switch him over to a ranged character, but then he loses that +1. Okay, that's actually really interesting. I thought it was just like, hey, if you choose to do it, you get a +1 attack and range, and I was like, why would you never, like, why would you do this at the start of the game? Okay, that's really cool, actually. Moving on to booster number 9. Nothing less crazy to find. I found, like, literally everything I possibly could want. Sinestro Core Ring would be cool, but now I'm just getting greedy with it. Taking a look, we have Sinestro Core Recruit, Blue Lantern Recruit, Controller Recruit, Lysidrak, and ooh, we have a White Lantern Ring, because why not? We also have Sade as an Orange Lantern. It is Sade this time. I'm familiar with this piece vaguely. But you know what they say, ask and you shall receive. Wow. That in our first brick, we are actually already down to only a single ring that we're missing, and it is the Sinestro Core Ring. So the one piece we have to look at in this booster pack, and I told you these were going to start going by quick, it is Sade here. Again, Sade is normally a good Lantern. I believe she had to make a deal with Orange Lantern Larfleeze for some reason. I don't remember why, but I believe this is her in like her, like, oh, I'm working as a slave because I had to for some reason. I don't remember why. We'll see if the card gives us a hint. Where Larfleeze wishes to go, I'm not your servant, I'll clean up your mess. Yeah, so she's definitely like a slave kind of here. I don't remember why, though. Larfleeze has not noticed you, I'm afraid. When Sade hits an opposing character, after actions dissolve, you may give that character a move action as a free action, and as if it was a friendly character, ignoring characters. Or he has noticed you. Okay, so that's actually rough. You hit with her, and then you can force move an opponent somewhere horrible, I'm assuming. 210 points, that is very expensive, but she does get Quintessence. She also has Greed, beholden to Larfleeze. Sade can use Barrier and Plasticity. When opposing character attempts to break away and the result is 1 or 2, give that character an action token. Wow, kick them while they're down. They already failed their breakaway roll, which ended their turn. Now you're going to give them another action token. That is mean. But even though that's the last figure we have to look at in this booster, it is not the last piece. Because we have a White Lantern Ring. Originally worn by Kyle Rayner, my favorite boy, and first White Lantern. It gives you +1 if you're already a White Lantern. Otherwise, once per game when this character would be KO'd, don't KO it, and it can use regen next turn. Wow, so it just gives you a free stock click. That is actually very solid, especially if your entire team has that. That would just be a pain in the butt. Plus, wow, you can actually use this on top of existing stop clicks. So you can put this on a character, and then they have a double stop click. Well, that's annoying. So we are kitted out. I'll go ahead and put this here. Let's see if we can get a zoom out shot of basically all of the rings that we put together. Insane luck on some of these pulls, man. Okay. Moving on to last booster of brick number 1. We have one more rare waiting for us, and possibly a Sinestro Core Ring, but there's literally no way that there's a Sinestro Core Ring inside of here. So, what rare are we going to get? We have Glomulus, Kyle Rayner, Arisia, Mongol, and a duplicate Zelias Zox. That's interesting. Okay, so we actually have nothing to look at there. It's a little weird that we got 4 super rares, and one of them is a duplicate. But I'm not going to be too mad, I suppose. It's just a little strange. I'm always a little hesitant. Ever since that Disney Plus brick where I opened up like the same booster pack 8 times, I'm hesitant anytime I see a small mistake. And maybe this isn't even a mistake, I don't know. I'm paranoid. So that was our first brick, and I gotta say, I'm very pleased. We pulled not only a Chase, but the Common Prime. some really cool super rares in every ring other than the yellow one. So, yeah. Before we move on to Brick 2, I just want to take a second to talk about this boy right here. This is a Black Lantern Anti-Monitor. So basically, if you don't know, in DC, Anti-Monitor is basically like a dimensional threat that was going around destroying universes. He is what caused the Crisis on Infinite Universes. Nope, that's not what it's called. Crisis on Infinite Earths, that's the one. Where basically, like, every Superman from every reality had to team up to kill him. But you don't kill things in DC because then they come back as a zombie. So basically, Anti-Monitor came back as a Yellow Lantern in War of Sinestro Corps. Again, read War of Sinestro Corps if you have not already. And then he later comes back as a Black Lantern during Blackest Night. And this is that character, originally a convention exclusive that I actually picked up at a World Championship back in 2014. So I just really like this guy. We're not going to look at his card or anything. I just really love the sculpt. And the fact that he's like freaking huge compared to like a normal character. If we take a look, like little baby Sinestro here, like kind of fits in his hands. Yep, that is a con exclusive. However, I think it's pretty easy to get a hold of nowadays. You can probably pick one up for like $15 online if I had to check. Something cursed about this guy is I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get this like on camera. I'm going to try my hardest though. Come on. There we go. Look at this font. Look at this weird font. I'm not a fan. This is the only character in the game with this font, and I'm not a fan. Another thing I'm not a fan of is on this click, he has a 2 attack. And I get that that's like a misprint, and he's supposed to have a 12 attack there. But as of now, on the physical piece, it's a 2 attack. So with this like 500 point character, or whatever he is, you get a weird font and 2 attack. So, I don't know. I just find that funny. But yeah, I love this guy. I have him on my shelf at all times, just kind of looking cool. You played regionals and your wife won a grand prize that gave you every one of the con exclusives. Jeez. I played regionals and I got my butt kicked. We did a sealed event. It was a sealed event of the Galactic Guardian set. I pulled, what was he? He was that big, like, 300 point character who had like a 50-50 defense. I don't take any damage. And I was super paranoid, so I didn't run him at 300 points or whatever. I only ran him at like 50 points, and it was the greatest mistake of my life. I got bodied that tournament. But I still have really good memories. I picked up the black and white lantern battery kits there, and I picked up Anti-Monitor. She wanted in a draw. Oh. That's really cool. I want an Injustice t-shirt in a drawing. At that convention. So let's move on to Brick 2, and let's just get started right away. Let's see if we pull another chase in the first booster pack, or if we get a chase at all. I actually don't know the odds of chases in this set, so... Hopefully it is 1 per, but I thought it was 1 per in the last set that we opened, and it was not 1 per, so... Taking a look, we have, we have another rare that we've already seen, Orange Lantern Sade. We have, White Lantern Kyle Rayner, Storytime. Mongol, we have Arisia, and we have Glomulus. So we can see, now that we made our way to our second brick, we've kind of seen the majority of characters. Even our rares are starting to duplicate. But there's still some cool rares we're hunting for, and we're still looking for that Yellow Lantern ring. Come on. So, the only piece we're looking at in this booster pack is White Lantern Kyle Rayner. My favorite character in all of DC. The only one who's ever truly wielded a White Lantern ring. So the story behind Kyle is he is the first and only person, to my knowledge, to master the entire emotional spectrum. He wore every ring and mastered it. And because of that, because he had the complete control of the emotional spectrum, his ring became a White Lantern ring, and he had control over every color in the core. So, like, any color of light, he could just, like, use the powers of, and it's sick. He's cool. I love him. It's also very interesting because in his storyline, this was kind of during the Rise of the Third Army storyline, where the Guardians were doing evil stuff. Um, the only one he had not mastered until that point was the emotional spectrum of love, and that is because his girlfriend was shoved into a fridge by Mongol, I believe. So he was like very scarred emotionally because of it, and he couldn't love people. But eventually, he realized that love doesn't always have to be like romance love, but there's also like family love. And he realized that, well, Ganthet was being attacked by the Third Army, that he actually did love Ganthet, and that was the catalyst that allowed him to master the emotional spectrum, and he turned into a White Lantern on the spot and vaporized the Third Army. Um, Freaking love Kyle Rayner. Loneliest lantern wielder. Taking a look at what he does, one of the only White Lanterns in the game. Unity of the Spectrum. When you build your force, if another character possesses the keyword Lantern in the name, or Indigo, Tribe, Sinestro Corps, or Star Sapphire, Kyle Rayner also possesses that keyword. So basically, you just throw him on any Lantern Corps team. It does not matter. He fits on all of them. Mentored by each corps, when a friendly character within range and line of fire is given an action token to activate a standard power, Kyle Rayner can use that standard power until your next turn. And there we go, him showing off his mastery of the entire emotional spectrum, just copying different abilities. He also has the life stop click that gives him regeneration. So, yeah. This is back when points were very stupid in Heroclix, so you have 112, not 110, not 115, 112. But yeah, overall, I really like this piece. I really like this character. I really love this story. He eventually decides that he is... the White Lantern light is too much for one person to wield, so he eventually kind of forms the White Lantern Corps, and then I don't know what happens past that because I stopped reading. It is like, I don't know. I read Geoff Johns' The End, where Kyle goes off and becomes Space Jesus, and he heals people of cancer in space for the rest of his life, and that, to me, is the canonical Green Lantern ending, so that's the one that I go with. Next booster pack. See if we get something new in this one, or if we're just looking at rares now. Zoom out. We have an Orange Lantern Controller, Romat Rue. We have Boudica, Blue Lantern Kyle, which we've already seen. And our rare is blocked by an Orange Lantern Ring. How rude. It is... oh, this is actually Blue Lantern Sade. Okay, so we do have something to take a look at. I double-checked this time. I checked her nameplate. It is Sade. It is not Ganthet. I am not confused this time. Some of these are, like, shockingly hard of getting out of their booster pack, and I do not know why. Oh, jeez. Good news, I broke her. A little bit too much downforce there. Oh, well. A little super glue can fix that. I'm looking for a complete collection of War of Light. I'm not looking for a perfect collection of War of Light. Taking a look, I will just show you her piece, because nothing else survived. See, just kind of like Ganthet, just kind of in her little Blue Lantern cloak. In the same pose that we had saw from the other Sade, except blue this time. Second orange ring. Yeah, Jalen, if you need a second orange ring, I will give you this, because I don't need it. Sade Blue Lantern, another 175-point piece. Teaching the Believers. Sade can use Empower and Enhancement. Adjacent friendly characters modify their attack by +1. Very effective support right there. However, 200 points is kind of a lot. Teaching the Unbelievers, too. Sade can use Incapacitate and Precision Strike. When she uses Incapacitate, after action resolves, deal each hit character 1 damage. That's not particularly great, to be honest. Even back then, a lot of characters... Oh, Precision Strike, actually. Okay, yeah, that's okay. It's fine. Hope, the Birth of Hope. Sade can use Perplex, but only to increase combat values. When a character uses Perplex, increases its range by 3. When an opposing character uses Perplex, decreases its range by 3. Wow, that's actually very solid. And prob. So, I don't know. Overall, how do I feel about her? Seems a little expensive. Again, Blue Lanterns feel very support to me, so seeing a 200-point support just feels a little eh. But with that being said, I'm not reviewing these pieces. I'm just telling you how much I like them, really. Because I like all of them. And now Sade goes in her little broken piece pile. And we will move on to booster number 3. We are still looking for 3 super rares and a chase, hopefully. Or at least something chase level, but I'd really love to see Heroclix, if I'm being honest. I think he's the chase that I want the most, because he is probably the most lore important one, I would say. Oops, get this out of the way. Taking a look-see, we have... zoom out. Orange Lantern Kyle. Another common prime Tomar Ray, so that's kind of funny. Beethoven. And our rare is... Ooh, a new rare. We have Brother Worth. Cool. A little sad that we have a duplicate prime. It does mean that we are not going to get a super rare prime in this set. Bit of a bummer. But we got one of my favorite designed characters. It is Brother Worth, and let me grab his card really quick so I can show you how cool he is. Here we go. I love this character, kind of a very like Hindu vibes from him, just an elephant man in just kind of a monk aesthetic. I don't know, I love this piece, he's so cool looking. Let's take a look at what he does. We have Hope in the Face of Evil. Brother Worf can use Perplex, but only to increase combat values. When he does, the targeted character modifies its defense by +1 against close combat attacks. That is very solid. He also starts with Prob, which is very good. Finally, his Noble Assistance. Brother Worth can use Close Combat Expert and Power. Adjacent friendly characters modify their attack by +1. So this actually does seem like a pretty effective close combat Blue Lantern, or at least a very effective combat lantern. A lot of the Blue Lanterns we've seen have been very support-focused, and I wouldn't know how I feel about them as a combat character, but this one, specifically, does seem like he does support and combat, so I gotta admit, this is probably probably the most usable of the Blue Lanterns, in my opinion, just looking at those powers. And his point cost. Moving on, we are still looking for 3 super rares. And a chase piece. Then again, that common prime might actually be our chase, which would be a very real disappointment, to be honest, considering we have already pulled him. Oh, this is not good looking. We have Swamp Thing super rare. That is a duplicate, bit of a bummer. Weapon of Record, I'll just rip this one open. Yeah, nothing new there. Getting a good chunk of dupes in this pack. I'm hoping to see some new stuff. I know there's some super rares we haven't seen. Specifically Krona and the First Lantern I know are here, and I really do want that Krona. On to our 5th booster pack. We have Construct, Hal Jordan, Lysa Drac, Carousel is a duplicate rare, and nothing else going on in this booster pack. We probably have all of the rares in the set, so I'm really just hoping to see some new super rares. Actually, there are 3 super rares I can think of off the top of my head that we don't have. So the odds are I'm not getting a full super rare set here, which is heartbreaking to say the least, especially when you open up your booster pack and you see another Zelias Zox. Not going great here in the back half. I have too many Zelias Zoxes. Moving on to number 6, maybe we can get saved by a really cool chase. Whoops. We have Glomulus. A ring. What color ring is this? Blue ring. Mongol Recruit. Him and Crib again. Yeah, we're running out of packs. That's a little disappointing. I actually don't think we're going to even get a new super rare in this entire set. Yellow Lantern Recruit, Blue Lantern Recruit, Arizia. Oh, there's a piece we haven't seen yet. It is a Graftorum. And, ooh, Krona, there is a new super rare in here. That is surprising. At least I can walk away a little bit happy that, we get some new pieces in this entire second brick I purchased. And again, these were supposed to be a sealed case to my knowledge. Actually, I don't know if that was ever confirmed. For sure, I bought them together. Were they a case? I'm not sure. Not 100% sure, taking a look at it. But that is okay. We have Graf Torm here, finally a new piece to look at. You can see he's one of the, I believe he's the last Lost Lantern we have not pulled. Graf Torm, will Lost Lanterns. I'm not going to read that because we know what the Lost Lantern power does. Webbed Construct, when he makes a ranged combat attack and after action is resolved, whether or not he hits. Place a web marker adjacent to each target that took damage from the attack. Opposing characters can't make ranged attacks while adjacent to these and must roll to break away. These markers are only removed if there are no opposing characters adjacent to them, even if this power is lost. 200 points is a ton, but I mean, that does seem like a very strong attack ability. But with that being said, he's a little outwit kind of. If he gets outwitted, he kind of just gets shut down, is what I'm kind of trying to say. I don't know. That seems like a very powerful power. I do not know how I feel about it at 200 points. The good news is, I don't need to review it. I just need to show off the sculpt. Speaking of, here is Krona, the main evil guardian. So Krona is, again, I wish I remember his story a little bit better than I do. He is one of the first guardians. He attempted to see the creation of the universe, which was like forbidden or something. And then he goes on and tries to take over the entities, all of them, during the War of Light event, I believe. So he is like the big bad of the War of Light event. Taking a look at his card, we see a table. That's always a good thing. Collector of Entities. Each time, including at the beginning of the game, another friendly character is possessed by a character using the Entity Possession ability. Roll 2d6 and modify his combat value by +2 for the rest of the game based on the result. So you can get every single stat, basically, +2. And if you build your team around that, like a bunch of cheat characters that you're possessing, I could see him just getting +2 to everything. Taking a look at the back, Life Mind to toy with. He can use Regen, and it is a stop click. And opposing characters modify their attack by -2 until your next turn. This cannot be ignored. That is rough. He also has Observe the Origin of the Universe. Krona can use probability control once each turn, either before the roll of a character within range and line of fire is re-rolled, or after Krona's use of probability control, you can declare that that roll can't be re-rolled. Actually, really savage. There was a lot of probability control kind of going around at that time. So just being able to have a probability control that says, no, you cannot re-roll this anymore is actually very strong. It looks like he also has powers that are based on all the different emotions. We can see Indigo Teleportation, Fear right there, 7 Power Rings, and Rogue Guardian. Yeah, very cool. Very glad that we see him. I'm a little sad that we might not see the other Parallax or the other First Lantern, but at least we got one more super rare to end this off with. But hey, we have 2 more boosters, so it's very possible that we can get a chase. Taking a look, we have Zoom out. Blue Lantern Ganthet, Sister Circe, Blue Lantern Kyle, cards, Aresia, and Glomulus. Like, no rings in this entire brick, man. I'm just looking for a Sinestro Core ring, and I'm not getting it. Okay, this is the last booster pack that we have. This second brick has kind of been a bit of a just nothing. Just very few pieces that we actually need. It's a bit disappointing. With that being said, these waves are overall pretty small sets, so I'm not the most surprised. I'm just disappointed. We have a Orange Lantern Construct. We have another Right Wing, Tomar 2, Hal Jordan, and a Hanu. So don't even get a chase. This brick just had a common prime and a duplicate White Ring. Ugh. Jalen, I don't suppose you have a spare yellow ring that you need? Or that you don't need? Because I definitely have a spare blue. And that's really all in our case unboxing. Again, a little sad with that second half. We got so many duplicate super rares and stuff. Especially when our first brick was so amazing. But we are not entirely done yet. If I can get things in some kind of order. We have a stupid amount of these to open up. So, what are these? Basically, the way that it works is if you bought a battery pack of this set, you would get like 6 standard constructs and 1 construct that is semi-unique to that color. So, for instance, in the White Lantern battery pack, you got the Sniper as a unique construct for the white battery. The other kind of unique constructs you could get as primes. So, for instance, this net can only be got in the set in green. That was until they released an entire gravity feed that is just constructs, that just includes colors of constructs from like the different like primes and things like that. So for instance, if you watched my first video, you know that we got the rare prime Abin Sur. He came with the green wall construct. Now we can get the wall construct in every color. We can also get the like the sniper in every color, and basically this is exclusive constructs made not exclusive. So I have a bunch of packs of these, an entire gravity feed, and I'm just gonna basically just start ripping them open, and we're just gonna take a look at them basically. So in our first pack we have, speak of the devil, we have a black wall. This one gives, God, I love these gravity feed packs. They really store your pieces well when you open them new. Barry is free action, but only place 2 squares of blocking terrain. I will use that with Miss Minutes, and she will teleport wherever she wants to, whenever she wants to. Next pack. Jalen only has 1 extra ring. That's so sad. We have, a construct that I just don't even know what it does, to be honest. We have the Violet Bulldozer. Put that there. This one gives you Force Blast. When it does, you may target an opposing character within 4 squares in line of fire, all characters adjacent. That is okay, I guess. I've never really used Force Blast as a power, so I can't imagine I'm going to use that very much. I believe there's 60 constructs, by the way, and I'm only opening up like 40 packs, so... And because I'm opening up so many packs, I'm going to go through them as quickly as I possibly can. Again, don't get these constructs confused with the Batman team-up constructs. They do not do the same things. Here we have the blue stoplight construct. I love blue constructs. I just love the blue faction, to be honest. I love me some blue lanterns. This allows you to see through hindering. And I will stop explaining what the constructs do kind of once we start seeing repeats, because I think there's only like 7 unique constructs in here that we can even open. It's worth noting that you can run any construct color with any battery. However, you just don't get a benefit of the battery from running everything the same. So, for instance, if this is the only like wall I managed to pull, I can run the black wall in any battery. I just lose some benefits. Some insane benefits that probably mean it's not worth it, but we have the pink stoplight. And again, to my knowledge, there's no like rarity to any of these things. They're just kind of random. To be honest, I didn't buy any of these when the set originally released. I found it kind of scummy. They released like all of the battery packs as like $50 like packs basically, and they were all like insanely strong, and it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. We have the indigo, and it's actually a very gorgeous color, a stop sign. This gives outwit and plasticity, and outwit can only target speed powers. That is still very solid though. Ooh, here's an exciting one. We got the Sinestro Corps Sniper Rifle. Sniper Rifle, probably one of the better constructs in my opinion, but they're all kind of insane. Gives a character a range value of 10. Absolutely rough. Next up, Indigo Wall. I love this indigo color, man. Like, it doesn't really show up in my like camera because I'm like, I've set this up in like a little light box that's like entirely blue, and it just washes out all the other colors. But this is a very pretty, it's a very pretty wall. Trust me on that. Here we have a yellow stop sign. We already know what that does. Got our first green. It is the bulldozer. I remember back when this set was first being teased and we didn't know every piece that was going to be in it. WizKids went to an event and they showed off like the entire set like in color order with all of the constructs, and I was so amazed by like how the rainbow looked. It was so amazing to see every character I'd ever known. Have our first orange construct. It is the orange wall. I believe there should be 7 unique constructs. Or 9 unique constructs? I guess if it's 1 for every color. That would make sense. We have white net. Black sniper. A little hard getting them all in frame. Haven't seen a red yet. That's kind of wild. Yellow spotlight. Orange net. White stop sign. White wall. Could admit, I do really like the white ones. Just something about like how slightly translucent they are just kind of makes them visually pleasing. Ooh, hey look, something new. We have the blue mallet. Let's see what this does. It gives Quake. Makes sense. Still no red ones, man. With that being said, red wall. There we go. Now red ones feel slightly less naked. Oh, I guess they were all at the back. Red sniper. Have about 4 more, give or take. Huh. Yeah, I guess all the red stuff was at the back. Oops, I dropped it. Here we go. Red net. Of course, right near the end of the stream, my stupid my gimbal died, so I'm gonna have to do this by hand. Um, green stop sign. It's all falling apart. Oops, just did fine. Whoa, jeez. Orange stop sign. And I think this is our last one. Is there anything I would like to see? More indigo stuff, because they're very pretty. Black axe. And that is it. So if you're ever curious what a gravity feed of that looks like, got a few snipers of every color, got a few unique ones like the mallet and the axe. I'm surprised that we kind of had like a whole lot of the same construct and very few like unique constructs. I don't know if I'm wording that right, but like, I don't know. I would have expected a more mix. I swear there's like 4 different types of constructs we don't have. But nonetheless, it's very pretty seeing all these lined up together. I'm very pleased with that. So, yeah. I mean, that is everything. You managed to sit here with me as we opened up 40 booster packs. Just in case, I'm going to put it on this black screen because I'm not 100% sure my audio is going through. You sat with me through the entire, a whole lot of stuff, and I'm glad you guys were there. I am, the first brick I thought was super awesome. I loved everything we pulled in that. Second brick was a whole lot of, yeah, I think maybe my audio accidentally did cut there, my bad. The second brick, which is 2 unique pieces, a little disappointing there. But I think for the most part, I have most of the War of Light set now. It's not a 100% complete set, obviously. I'm looking for like 3 or 4 chases still. At this point, I will probably have to hunt those down on my own. Instead of just keep buying bricks of this old set because I do not need these pieces anymore. And I will have to hunt down a Sinestro Core ring. So, but overall, I enjoyed myself. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. If you did, you can go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you have not already. I really enjoy doing these live streams because, I don't know, I enjoy some of the input that people give me. A lot of times we'll have people in here who, like, tell me the stories of the characters that I don't know. It's fun bantering with friends. Overall, it's just good times. And if you like this, coming up soon, I will be doing a Batman team-up brick case unboxing. I don't know basically anything about that set. I'm pretty blind for the most part. I know there's a lot of Green Lantern characters, but I'm not sure to what extent exactly. I know Joe Mullen is in that set, and I love me some Joe Mullen. Other than that, I will be doing a video soon on the new object rules. If you did not know, special objects and equipment have their own rules now. So, for instance, like, you do not equip them at the start of the game, or you equip them at the start of the game, you don't have to put them on the map. So I will definitely do a video on that in the future. Hopefully it will be good and bite-sized. And then hopefully I'm going to take a look and maybe try to do some battle reports in the future. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to do a battle report. I used to watch a channel a while ago who did very cinematic battle reports very infrequently, and I wish I knew what they were so I could call them out. It was years ago. But I really liked the way they did it, and I would like to do something similar where it's like very, very cinematic, very action-packed kind of battle report, not just like a video cam of me playing the game. Not that there's anything wrong with that if that's what you're into, but that is not personally what I want to make, so I hope that's understandable. And then, to be honest, I'm kind of thinking I play a lot of Marvel Snap right now, to be honest, and I'm kind of debating if I just want to do some Marvel Snap streams. So if that's something you guys are interested in, seeing some Marvel Snap gameplay, why don't you just go ahead and let me know, and maybe we can set up a date and just every now and then just do some Marvel Snap, because that seems pretty fun to me. Other than that, I think I'm out of things to say. So, with that being the case, I guess I will switch over to the stream's ending screen, and everybody can go about their way and have a wonderful Saturday, guys. It's a new year. We're in 2023. I hope you all have a wonderful time. A lot of exciting thing is going to happen for this channel. A lot of exciting things are going to happen for Heroclix. Um, we will see what they are. I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful night.